Now, the Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Mr. Manoj Sinha, has met the families of the victims who were killed in those two separate attacks in Rajouri. Those are the visuals, in fact, coming on your screen, where the Lieutenant Governor has, in fact, met the families and also the protesters. Let me go across to Pradeep Datta for more on this. Pradeep, there have been protests taken out on the part of the Kashmiri Hindu community and also Hindus in Jammu against the dispensation there for failure to protect them. The Lieutenant Governor now is engaged in meetings with the families of those who died as well as the protesters in order to placate them.
Yes, a short while back, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha reached here. He met grief-stricken family members, also villagers, and right now he's having a meeting with about 20 to 30 people from the village and also family members of the victims, and he's listening to their grievances and the problem. The biggest grievance that the people here had, that they wanted the village defense committee to be resurrected because they said that the rifles were taken back from them. That's one of the reasons that they were not able to protect when yesterday terrorists came. So short while back, Deepak Singh, Director General of Police, he also assured them that assault rifles will be given to them, automatic rifles, so that they can safeguard their village and protect themselves from any kind of terror-related activity. I think this is the only positive story, that despite being targeted by terrorists, there is a grit and determination among the people that they want to save themselves, they want to protect themselves, and for that they want arms and ammunition. They say if there are security forces, they need to take care of other things. There are armed forces, they need to take care of the border, and they will be taking care of the village, and they will be taking care of the people. But they said that the other thing that has really annoyed them, agitated them, they said that proper sanitization of that area was not conducted. That's one of the reasons that the booby trap that was laid by the terrorists that led to death of 2 people, which included 4-year-old boy and 16-year-old girl, and 6 others were injured, because the idea was that they wanted to inflict maximum casualty. We have seen that this targeted killing, that process that started in the 90s, is continuing even today. If they kill in Kashmir Valley, they want to trigger exodus. If they kill Hindus here in Rajouri or any other part of Jammu region, idea is basically to trigger communal tension. But I think the people of Rajouri have given a befitting response to them. They've shown that nothing is going to tear apart that communal harmony that is existing in this region. They will continue to maintain peace and brotherhood, because they know what actually the enemy is eyeing at. Enemy wants that they to fight against one Hindustani to fight against other Hindustani. That's one of the reasons that Hindus are being targeted here. So people of this region, they want to fight against terrorism. They want to fight against all those enemies who are trying to
Absolutely, Pradeep. We'll wait for more updates coming out of that interaction between the Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir and the protesters, as well as the families. Now, even in this hour of grief, unfortunately, there's been politics over this latest series of killings in Jammu and Kashmir. The PDP's Mehbooba Mufti has said that this attack is aimed at benefiting a communal agenda.
ये बहुत ही अफसोस की बात है कि इससे पहले राजौरी में आर्मी कैंप के बाहर 2 लोग मारे गए और आज डोंगरी में ये वाकया हो गया। ये हमें तो अफसोस के बगैर हम तो हाथ मलते रह जाते हैं। हाँ, इससे ये जो इसमें हिंदू मुस्लिम का नैरेटिव एक जमात चलाती है, जिनको इसका फायदा होता है, जिनको इस किस्म की हलाकतों से जो है पूरे मुल्क में नफरत फैलाने का और एक मौका मिलता है। और ये बहुत बहुत अफसोस की बात है। यहाँ तो मुसलमान तो रोज ही मरते हैं, पर जहाँ हमारे हिंदू भाई मारे जाते हैं उसका फायदा एक खुसूसी जमात पूरे मुल्क में उठाती है। हिंदू मुस्लिम नफरत फैलाने में उनके ये बहुत ही काम आते हैं।
देखिए, ये बहुत ही दुख की बात है कि आतंकवाद अभी भी इस रियासत में चल रहा है। बेगुनाहों को मारा जा रहा है, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है। बेगुनाह लोग हैं, वो किसी भी मजहब से ताल्लुक रखते हैं। ये बीमारी अब बहुत बढ़ गई है। आज मुसलमान को अलग खड़ा किया जा रहा है, हिंदू को अलग खड़ा कर दिया जा रहा है। कौन जिम्मेवार है? कौन नफरत फैला रहा है? बताइए मुझे, उस हिंदू फैमिली में क्या था? उनके पास कुछ नहीं। वो किसके दुश्मन थे? किसी के नहीं। क्या ये वो जो कश्मीरी पंडित शुपायान में मारे गए, क्या कसूर था? होम मिनिस्ट्री में रास्ता निकालने की जरूरत है।
Well, for their perspective on these worrying developments in Jammu and Kashmir, we're currently joined by Charu Pragya, BJP spokesperson, as well as Mr. Ahmed Ayaz, lawyer. Ms. Pragya, coming to you first. We'll, of course, get to the comments made by Mehbooba Mufti and Farooq Abdullah. But don't you think this is an extremely worrying trend where serious questions are now being asked of the Lieutenant Governor and the ruling dispensation in Jammu and Kashmir over what is being alleged as their failure to protect the lives of Hindus in the valley, as now even in Jammu as well?
Siddharth, I want to begin by giving my condolences to the families of the deceased. I understand that even one killing is one too many, and the government takes complete responsibility. But I also want to add that everybody can talk about intelligence failure. We have no way of knowing all the times where intelligence has worked favorably and our brave soldiers have managed to protect the citizens of Jammu and Kashmir. The problem currently is the frustration of our enemies across the border. And the problem currently is that their previous modus operandi is not working. So they are moving on to new ones, whether it is using drones, whether it is targeted killings. And we need to strike down hard and strictly. And please understand that the government is going to leave no stone unturned in making sure that is done at the earliest. This is a situation which has taken decades to build up in the valley. And while we are fighting against it, sometimes the amount of time taken is longer.
Okay.
It's terrible that something like this has to happen, and everybody will say that it's a failure of the government. But also understand, if you look at sheer numbers, Siddharth, and please let me quote to you, from 2006 to 13. Before Article 370 was abrogated, the number of targeted killings or killings by terrorists in the J&K was 4,766. That's the number, which has come down to 721 from 2019 to 2022.
Point taken, Ms. Pragya, but there are protests now being taken out on the streets of Srinagar as well as parts of Jammu as well, with serious questions being asked of the government over why these killings are continuing at the pace that they are. Let me in fact get a perspective in from Mr. Ahmed Ayaz as well. Mr. Ayaz, taking off from what Mehbooba Mufti said, she appeared to indicate that these kind of killings are exploited by certain vested interests to spread hatred. But can the religious nature of these killings and the bigotry that is driving these killings, can it actually be denied? And why are certain mainstream politicians seeking to do that?
You see, the incident what has taken place, it is indeed a very, tragic and, what you call it, horrible. And we must condemn all such killings happening. And it is it's also a fact that it gives us, the sense of the ground situation about this killing. So far as Mehbooba is concerned, or we also say that yes, it is perhaps aimed to create a communal tension.
Okay. Mr. Ayaz, we obviously are having some problems with respect to your audio. We'll try to patch you again. But Ms. Pragya as well as Mr. Ayaz, thank you for your perspective.